All right, everybody, welcome to the Reboot Something podcast by Trilogy Innovations. We are super excited today to be talking to our third group of interns. So today we have Jess, we have Andrew, we have Kayla, and Cole. So guys, I'll let you kind of just give your brief kind of summary of yourself. So, you know, where you're from, what you're studying, and school, obviously. But yeah, we'll just go from there.
I'm Jess. I go to WVU. I'm majoring in MIS. It's my upcoming senior year. And I'm from Southern West Virginia.
I'm Andrew. I'm a West Virginia University computer science student. I'm senior year and I'm from Morgantown.
Hi guys, I'm Kayla. I just graduated this past spring with a degree in public relations from WVU, and I'm from Rochester, New York.
Cole Henderson. I'm from 100 West Virginia, and I am a senior studying computer science at WVU.
And we are Team Trilogy. Today we're going to talk about their internship experience over the summer, talk about, you know, some of their experiences, their their favorite parts, what they learned, and kind of just sharing some of their overall experiences. So let's get started with let's talk about, you know, the most challenging parts. Like what was your most challenging part of the internship, and then we can talk about the favorite parts too. But yeah, let's start with the most challenging.
For me, it was probably passing my AWS certification because I ran into a lot of issues. I failed by the one question the first time, and then the second time I ran into a lot of technical issues, so my friend had to bring me a laptop mid-test. So that was very stressful for me. And then just the discouragement of failing it the first time when everyone else passed it too. I felt like very isolated, but everyone in the group and even everyone in Trilogy was like, yeah, it's not really a big deal. You're not the first one to do this. So I felt like that was my biggest challenge.
And for me, I'm piggybacking off that. I think the AWS was the hardest part as well. I passed with about 730 and you need 700 to pass, so I was close. Test is hard, not much to say about that. Spent about a month studying for it. A little bit of stress, but that's all there is to say about it, honestly. It's hard.
Yeah.
For sure. For me, it was getting more granular with industry-specific stuff, whether that's jargon or technology or software that we're using. Making sure I was ramping up the learning curve well enough to support the team, understand what people are teaching us, telling us. That was definitely a challenge.
For me, it was definitely getting up to speed on the project that we were working on. I'd never worked on any kind of web app to that scale, and also had not had experience with a lot of the tools that were being used, so it was a little challenging to get up to speed on all of that.
Yeah. So we had 3 software development interns, 1 corporate intern, Kayla. So Kayla was really, invested in helping all sides of Trilogy and being that, utility player, but very much got, experience on the technical side as well. But kind of wanted to, for the audience, just kind of give perspective of the different roles. But everybody kind of had their own different, experiences and emphasis. So let's kind of talk about, the most rewarding parts, your favorite parts of Trilogy, or of the internship.
So I think my favorite part was just sort of the learning environment that you guys have here. Because as soon as I passed my first AWS cert, everybody was already like, all right, you got to try for that next one, and encouraging me to keep going with the learning. So working with Matt Lake and Scott Dix, and then also my mentor Chris to work on that, and then yesterday got to take that test. So we'll see. I don't have the results yet, but hopefully passed it.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah, definitely the learning culture. Like Chad said, I'm the corporate intern, and not being a software intern, I was kind of worried that I'd get left behind or not be able to immerse myself in that. I have a really strong interest in tech, and I definitely was given a full experience. I did all the AWS training with everyone. When it came time to learning, more technical project management or getting hands-on code, I had the ability to run an EC2 instance if I wanted. I was not left out and I wasn't boxed in. And I think that, constant environment of, you can learn whatever you want was really fantastic.
For me, I think it was the networking opportunities and ability to meet people here. I thought that was really valuable. I thought there's not many places in computer science, especially in WVU, where you're exposed to situations like that. So for me, I just really enjoyed that and thought that was useful.
Yeah, for me it's pretty much the same, just like the people in the company, because they've like really were very supportive and stuff, and they helped me find the direction that I was seeking through this internship, because I didn't know how technical I wanted to be in life, and when I found my future job, I didn't really know what I wanted. So I feel like they answered all the questions I had, and that was very rewarding to figure out what I even wanted to do.
Yeah. No, that's great. It's very rewarding from my perspective to hear you guys all give this feedback, and I know we've talked about this already, but just want to say how much I appreciated working with you guys this summer. I didn't get as much time with you, as individuals, but I know Kayla obviously helping me out, on a few different projects. Cole, even during Tech, you all helped with the podcast, and so. That was just great. But let's talk about, the mentorship side of things and your experience, with your mentors, with other people around Trilogy. It sounds like that was some of your all's favorite parts, but, let's dive into the mentorship aspect. Do you want to kind of talk about, your experience with your mentor and talk about if they, micromanaged you or anything like that? Like, what was your experience with them, right?
I mean, I've only got good things to say about it. My mentor, Chris, was great, and there's not, like you said, there's no micromanaging, like, anything. It's just, like, they're there, and they make it clear to you that they're there to answer any questions that you have and help you in any way that they can. And, they do that and check in on you regularly to see if you need anything. I just had a great experience with it. Any question I had, Chris would give me an answer, and if he didn't know it, he would point me to somebody who did. So, I had a great experience with it.
Yeah, me too. I was lucky enough to have Stacy as my mentor, and something that she did not just for me but for everyone else is constantly piling opportunities in front of us, whether that's speaking with somebody outside of our domain, learning opportunities outside of the internship, professional development, career development. I felt like there was such an emphasis on like putting opportunities in front of you to let you do what you want with it. I just really wanted to say thank you to not just my own mentor, but everyone else at Trilogy who's really offered, like a mentorship role to all of us. Everyone's so generous with their time, very selfless with their knowledge and their expertise, and to come in, getting a mentor and then really having access to anyone on the team, it was, really phenomenal.
That's great.
I'm so good at speaking English.
Yeah. You're just double emphasizing phenomenal, right? Yeah.
Phenomenal,
It was.
Yep.
Is that what you said?
I think so.
Sorry. Yeah.
My mentor was Jonathan, and similar, great experience. He has about 20 more years of experience than I do, and he answers every question I had. I never feel like a burden. Very knowledgeable guy. Just overall great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I worked with Steve, who's my mentor, and I feel like we matched our vibes very quickly, because I'm not the type of person that like really like reaches out if I don't have a question, and he wasn't either. So we gave each other space when we needed to, and like when we did connect, it was like, okay, I have a question on this, can you help me? Or even if I don't have a question, let's just talk about random things that we've done this week. And I found that really helpful just as a person to talk to in the company, even if I didn't have questions. And then also, Stacy too, to like hype Stacy up, she really also took the time to get to know us as individuals, I feel. Even going so far as to remember the snacks that she bought us on the first day and like got us it this week. And she was like, I got it right? I'm like, yeah. So that was really nice. And then also like Scott, I met with him multiple times throughout the internship just to talk about random things, even in person. Like we've talked about my world religions class and like stuff like that. So like it doesn't even have to involve Trilogy or tech field. You can literally talk about anything to anyone.
Yeah. No, that's great. So let's talk about, the expectations. Do you feel that, your internship experience, did it exceed your expectations? Did you feel that there was something that maybe you didn't expect and you got so much value out of? So let's talk about expectations and how we either met them or exceeded them or didn't.
I think absolutely exceeded expectations in basically every way, because we got way more training than I expected to get. Because you don't expect, most people here, your typical internship, you get stuck in a box and they expect you to just write code and that's it. But I feel like we get a ton of technical training, and then as well we get a lot of professional development training. With this week we've been going and talking to several different people. Like today we talked to a financial planner. which is something you don't expect from a tech internship, but I think we really got a lot of value out of it. So definitely exceeded expectations in pretty much every way.
Awesome.
Yeah, I definitely say the same. Just getting to see the whole picture was extremely unexpected and very welcomed. It wasn't just like the technical aspect. It wasn't just like, what we're directly doing. It's getting to see the industry, processes, contracting, the roles that people play across the team. It was amazing. And also, once again, being the corporate intern and not a software engineering intern like everyone else, I didn't expect that, I would be taken seriously and that I would be invested in the way that I was, keeping pace with the rest of the interns with our technical training and really being invested in to the same degree. I definitely didn't expect that from an internship, but I'm happy to be here. So
Yeah, for me, it's a great experience. On the technical level, you learn so many new things, and then past that, you get networking opportunities. You see into parts of the business you probably didn't expect to see. Just overall, very good experience.
Yeah, definitely exceeded it for me. I feel like Trilogy as a company, like their interns, they invest in their interns and less so themselves. Like they are not as worried about you coming back to work for them or it benefiting them. They're much more worried about how it benefits you and how you can, develop your professional career and getting your network and your brand. So I feel like that definitely exceeded my expectations.
Awesome. Yeah, I just loved it. It's like filling my cup right now is like, metaphorically speaking, right? Again, this is just great feedback to get from you all, and I know that all the people in Trilogy that are going to hear this are going to be probably, you're gonna bring some tears to their eyes. It's Stacy, But no, hopefully this helped, prepare you guys for the future. And that's really, what the intention of the internship is, for Trilogy. So when we started it 3 years ago, that was the goal, was to provide actual real world experience, hands-on experience. And, every year we're trying to, provide this platform so that not only they can provide feedback to us internally, but provide feedback to the next group of interns and really set expectations for what the industry internship is like, instead of treating, interns as a butt in a seat for cheap money or for cheap labor. It's much more of what you can give back, in terms of knowledge and skills. And that ultimately makes our entire, community, especially here in West Virginia, as the technology movement is really booming. So we're just really happy to hear this. And that's, very rewarding for me, I'll say. I think that, really kind of sums up everything that I wanted to, talk about and get from you guys. But, is there any kind of final thoughts or anything that you wanted to share as a so long? Actually, pause that thought real quick. I totally forgot that we need to give one piece of advice to the next set of interns, or really maybe just advice for somebody that's applying and looking for an internship. Yeah, if you could leave one nugget for the next set of folks, what would it be?
Big thing is do your research. Companies like it if when you're going into that interview, you've done your research on the company and you have questions about what they do. So that's something that I did that I think was, you can maybe attest to that was effective, but make sure you know the company and know what they do, and then have a couple of questions about that to bring into your interview.
That's good.
Yeah, I guess for the next intern class, once you're already here, just don't be afraid to ask for it. Being a corporate intern, I expressed a vague interest in wanting to learn Agile, wanting to learn technical project management, and immediately I was connected with resources, people, just opportunities to really invest in something that I didn't expect that I would be able to do. So you just gotta ask for it, and they'll put it right in front of you.
My piece of advice is to relax. You're going to be in some stressful situations at times, whether it's AWS or learning Scrum or whatever project you get placed on, but everything's planned out well and it all just works itself out.
Yeah, my piece of advice is for the future interns is just enjoy it. And if you are second guessing yourself or have questions, just ask, and don't second guess your abilities, because you got hired for a reason, so you're here. So you have to be, qualified. So I would say that.
Awesome. All right. Well, I almost finished without leaving or without ending with that. But any final thoughts that you guys want to share, whether it's feedback or just anything else you wanted to talk about? This is your chance. This is your platform. So if you have any final thoughts, speak now.
I definitely appreciate that they, see us as young professionals. They don't infantilize you, but they definitely empathize with the fact that, you don't know what you're doing. You're just at the start of your career. You might not even have graduated yet. And they never box you into like being a student or a child or anything like that. But they are so empathetic with the way that they approach teaching and explaining and just connecting with you as a human. I definitely really appreciated that.
Yeah, I also feel like this entire experience was very rewarding because at the beginning, Brandon was, drawing everything out, and he was like, you won't get it right now, but you will at the end. And then after that, like after going through AWS and everything and learning, it's like, oh, okay, that actually does make sense. The stuff is making sense in my mind now. And like when you would go through the meetings with him and the words he was saying was just now like lighting a light bulb up in your head, and you're like, okay, that actually registers what you're saying. It's not just like over my head. So that was very rewarding.
That's awesome.
I guess just, shout out to all the folks at Trilogy for creating like this awesome innovative tech company in West Virginia and investing into students here to sort of build that up here. That's one thing I know we talked about in the interview process that I was really fond of was dedication to building tech in West Virginia and sort of creating that industry from basically nothing. I feel like you guys have really put a lot of effort into building that up and investing back into the people in West Virginia. So.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. All right. Well, if that's everything, I appreciate you all for watching and hope you enjoyed this. Hope you get value out of it. And especially if you're, a future intern or somebody that's interested in, projecting their career after school. So, with that, appreciate you all again. It's been just an honor working with you guys, a true pleasure. So we'll be continuing to have conversations as we're wrapping up and as far as, next steps in your all's career and all that jazz. But yeah, thanks again. And I hope you all have a great day. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.